Mr. Coach John Cullen. We'll pick him up here in just a moment. There it is. Coach Cullen, you are on Running Point. How are you, sir?
I'm sorry?
You're on Running Point. How are you, sir?
Good. Sorry. Hey, I just couldn't find my phone. It was underneath some stuff in my car, so I just got to it.
That's the Coach Cullen that I know right there. Couldn't find his
There you
phone.
are.
That's what I appreciate the most, Coach.
Coach, how are you? Obviously, this is DJ Yokley on this side, Steve Leslie on the other side with Quinn Pushkar. I mean, you look at the season 2020 and going into 2021. How has it been different for you? I mean, you've been around the block. You've had a few seasons under your belt. Talk to me about how this season has allowed you to prepare a little bit differently.
I haven't been around the block. I've been around the world. But the whole thing is, hi, Steve. How you doing?
I'm good.
But I just, it was different. It was much harder to prepare. First of all, it's been even worse this time of year because we didn't get to scrimmage anybody before our first game, which was almost. I don't even know how you do that kind of thing because you just can't prepare for what you're going to be playing against. But in the summertime, the one thing I liked about it was I got to spend so much more time with my younger guys and also spend more individual time with people. So I think I have some people that really improved quite a bit more than they normally do individually. And even though we've always done skill work, I got to do a lot more skill work and a lot less teamwork this summer because we didn't play against anybody. But from that standpoint, it was good. From this standpoint, though, the situation wasn't as much the COVID. We got quarantined a little bit, not too much, but the big thing was both of our teams went so far in the fall, had such phenomenal fall seasons. I haven't had much practice time with them, so we're behind right now.
Coach, it's Steve. First, a couple things on my end of it. I love the friendship that we have. I've loved some of the basketball teams that you've had over the years. I know a lot of assistants you've had and continue to help grow, become head coaches. Talk about your assistant coaches on your staff this year and what they mean to this program.
Well, I have a phenomenal staff, and I've always had good people to work with from Canfield and here. But I have Will Klusnick, who is my all-time leading scorer at Canfield. He's with me this year. He's doing a wonderful job. It's his second year. I have T.J. Irons, who's been with me 7 straight years. He's my offensive coordinator, and he is also our tech wizard and all that kind of stuff. And he's just so down to earth, and he's a person that's in the school. And I'm in the school a lot, 6 hours a day, but he's in the school as a teacher, and that really helps to have that connection there also with the administration and everything else. Then I also have Joe Cunningham, who was an excellent player at Mooney. I don't have to tell you that. You know that kid and that family. His brother was one of the best people I had here since I've been here. So I have some very good basketball minds as well as passionate people about the sport, and you can get a lot done with that kind of stuff. It's like having 3 head coaches at practice, really.
Well, that's got to be nice to have 3 head coaches. Never too many cooks in the kitchen at South Range, I can tell you that. And of course, with your wonderful athletic director, Donnie Farron, as well, making sure that you guys are playing well together. Coach, let's talk about expectations. You've coached a lot of great teams. What are the expectations for this South Range Raider team, particularly with regards to on the floor, but also talk about off the floor? You're a big advocate for what a kid can bring to the table with his brain as well.
Well, we have a very good team. From off the floor, we have some very good academic students in the on our team right now with 34 ACTs and 3 or 4 guys that are around a 4-point, maybe 5 guys around a 4-point grade point average. So that allows you to move a little faster in the learning process if they can adapt that the same way they do in the classroom, and most of them do. From that standpoint, it's really good, because that gives you a lot more people that are good demonstrators and good, their peer pressure to help other people learn who haven't been around very much. Because we have a lot of people that without much varsity experience. We have a couple varsity kids with varsity experience, and those guys have done a real good job of reeling in the kids that haven't had that experience.
Coach, a couple things for me. I've known you a long time. This is a crazy time that we're going through. I talked in the beginning of the show. It kind of changes daily on a lot of things, on who can go to a game, on tickets and those types of things. And I've said I have a daughter that plays at Ursuline, and if it gets to the point where Julie and myself are not able to watch her play. That's why I appreciate what I do here at YSN, that fans can watch it. But my question for you, through all those times, the biggest people in my lives that were models were coaches like you and those types of people. For a Coach Cullen in this time where you hear all the negatives on this COVID and all the distancing, is there something for you as of today that's been a blessing in disguise for this South Range 2021 basketball team?
Well, I think the one blessing is, team building is every day is a chemistry lesson with us and with every other team too. And you can tell the teams that all of a sudden find that chemistry, they have phenomenal seasons. And you try to build that every year. It doesn't happen every year. Sometimes there's just things that fight against it. But in this situation, I think that COVID has forced people to come together, and sometimes one of the most important things is that people do the right things away from school, away from practice, and that kind of thing. And I think it's forced people to live healthier from the standpoint of doing the right things, and also spend more time with their family. And I think all that has been a little bit of a blessing because our kids are pretty darn committed. There hasn't been anybody miss practice. There hasn't been anybody that there hasn't been any negativity from any parents. I think parents are just happy to have them able to be in a situation that's bigger than themselves and gets them out of the house and gets them hungry and busy and other than, because sometimes the school's been remote and everything else, but basketball practices, there's no shortcuts. You got to work your tail off to be good at things, and that's what we're doing right now. So, you take every situation, which is hard for everybody, and try to figure out how to make it the best it can be for you in your situation. And we've tried to make it bring us closer together than maybe even we have been before at this time of the year.
Coach, this will be our 4th year together on Coach's Corner for South Range. You and I have discussed a lot about accountability, and from guys like Brady White and the list goes on. So talk to me about accountability and how important it is for your players and everybody that's out there watching and listening right now, how important accountability is at the age that you get them from anywhere from 14 to 18 years old.
Well, accountability is everything, because if they're not accountable, then it's hard to move forward, because there's not a lot of development. Every day you're starting over if they're not accountable. And we have different things we look for in players. One of them is be an eager learner. Well, I define learning as something that's permanent and has turned into a habit rather than just something that you're exposed to. And that's true in every phase of your life. But here's the thing. I read a good thing today when I was doing my research. I read every day on different websites and stuff. And the one thing said, whatever you tolerate, you have to accept. Well, there's coaching and there's tolerating. Coaching is you demand people to do the things that are play the right way. That's the main thing. All coaches are trying to get their teams to do is play the right way. And when the kids start becoming accountable, then you can start really building and increasing the depth of the program and that kind of thing. But until you get that accountability, you're kind of just treading water. And hopefully we're not in that stage right now. But even though we're short on experience, we're not short on accountability.
Wow, that's a great answer, Coach. And, from all of us, I know I look forward. I know we're glad to be a part of South Range Boys Hoops on YSN. For South Range fans, you could check out all the home games for South Range on YSN. Coach, thanks for calling in. I enjoy our friendship, like I said, from all of us here at YSN. Merry Christmas to your family, and stay healthy and have a great year with a young basketball team that I know will continue to get better.
Well, just one more thing, Steve, and you guys have done a phenomenal job down there of building this YSN Live. And I've gotten, now that I am not allowed to go scouting, I'm going to be doing a lot of scouting on YSN Live.
Well,
I've already watched 2 games, and it's great.
I was just going to ask you, from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, you've coached at the next level. From a recruiting standpoint, how has COVID changed the way that your kids are trying to get out there and to play at the next level, no matter what the level it is?
Well, we've had 4 kids play college basketball now since I've been here in the 7 years. And so the one thing about college is I can just tell you, they know who the players are. And AAU is a good vehicle for that standpoint, but it also has some negative sides to it. The thing is, though, like in our situation, I've I've coached a lot of the college coaches when they were growing up in different things, so I do have a lot of contacts in the area, and consequently, a lot of college coaches will call me about, what about that kid from McDonald? What about that kid from Boardman? And because they know that I'm not going to, tell them something that's wrong about a kid. And so I think that it's the responsibility of the coaches to become even more involved than maybe they would be before when AAU was the primary focus and that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of good multi-sport athletes that don't play as much AAU and still are good enough to play college basketball. And so those kids need a little more help than the AAU people do.
Coach, we appreciate your support, as always, so much. You were one of the early adopters of YSN and what we were trying to do. Again, our 4th year of Coach's Corner this year. Excited for it. But as we usually do with our Coach's Corners, I got to throw a curveball at you to finish the interview. Today's question of the day is, what is the best Christmas song for John Cullen?
The best Christmas song. The one, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's Faith Hill, Where Are You Christmas?
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. That's a good answer.
Well, first of all, Faith Hill doesn't hurt anything.
No.
Having been on the call to begin with. But Where Are You Christmas? I think it's just a wonderful song. I like a lot of them, and I like anything Jennifer Nettles sings at those country Christmas things. But Faith Hill and that song is the one that probably comes to mind first for me.
Coach, we appreciate you so much. Good luck this season, and we'll talk to you very soon right here on the YSN Coach's Corner with, of course, John Cullen, and brought to you, as always, by Joe Dickey Electric. Coach, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I hope to see you guys down the road here this year.
You got it, brother. We'll talk to you soon.